Hey, I'm Grant with Grant's Game Rex. I'm still traveling here in the month of November. I'm actually trying to squeeze in this video during PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. So, the video will drop after PAX Unplugged. So if you are at PAX Unplugged, I hope you had a great time. If you went and, there was a lot of great games, and I'll cover those more on my channel soon. I'm seeing a lot of great games there. But let me try to squeeze in the best expansions coming to retail. Every month we have expansions that are coming to stores near you, or oftentimes these will be available through publishers' websites, things like that. So we got a few this month. I hope you're having a great November, and happy Thanksgiving as well. During my best games coming to retail video that I released about a week ago, I talked about a game, Eve: War for New Eden. And I mentioned in that video that there are also a lot of expansions coming for that game. And so I'm going to talk about 3 of the expansions, but there's also a ton of faction packs, a ton of upgrade packs. There's even more content than what I'm going to talk about right now if you are interested in the game and you want to hear more about it. All of these expansions are coming from Fateforge Games and Asmodee. If you didn't watch that Best Games Coming to Retail video, no worries. Eve: War for New Eden is a 4X game where you will be exploring the galaxy, negotiating with other players, engaging in combat, building up your faction, with technology and resources and things like that. So, it's a big, expansive, space-themed game. And first expansion I'll talk about here is Eve: War for New Eden Titan expansion. Plays 2 to 4 players in 90 to 180 minutes, and it is a medium weight game. This adds colossal capital ships, and you are racing to construct these Titans in remote shipyards, assembling them piece by piece. And each stage of construction requires, resource allocation and careful planning. But once you have built these Titans, this new type of spaceship, they can be deployed onto the battlefield, and they can maneuver, dominate, influence combat with really cool special abilities. So if you want even more special abilities and a new way to, a new path to victory by how you build these Titan ships, then this might be an expansion for you. Also, Eve: War for New Eden Havoc expansion. This actually changes the player count. We talked 2 to 4 players as the base game. This makes the game 3 to 5 players, also 90 to 180 minutes, and a medium plus weight game probably. This introduces a 5th player to the game and all the components that you need for a 5th player. That 5th player will control a new faction, the Deathless Circle, which is a pirate faction. So the first 4 players in the game will still be playing, gameplay similar to the core game, but the pirate faction here uses a distinct set of asymmetric rules and pursues their own victory condition. Essentially, you are pirates raiding people and places on the board. So it's not a one versus many game. It's not like everybody else is fighting against you, but they have to deal with you while you are playing the game. You could trigger the end game, you could win the game in a different way than the other players. So that's kind of interesting. And then lastly, I'll talk about Eve: War for New Eden Azariel Titan expansion. This plays 3 to 5 players, 90 to 180 minutes, and it is a medium plus weight game. This is the only way to combine the first 2 expansions that I talked about. Those are, you need the base game to play either of those first 2 expansions, but then you need, you can't play them together unless you have this expansion right here. It combines the 5-player gameplay of the Havoc expansion with the cosmic technology of the Titan expansion. So if that sounds interesting to you, then check it out. Asmodee, in association with Fantasy Flight Games, is releasing Star Wars, the deck building game, Mandalorian faction pack. I have talked about Star Wars, the deck building game on my channel plenty. It's one of my favorite two-player games of all time. It is a deck building game where you are battling against another player and you're playing either as the Rebellion or the Empire, but there are also cards in the market and you can sort of fight the cards in the market before they make it into your opponent's deck. You can eliminate them out of the market, and that's a fun twist on deck building games. This adds a Mandalorian faction to the game, so, includes all the sort of base cards and starter cards and galaxy deck cards that you need for a new faction in the game. It also, though, adds new 3-player rules. So, Star Wars the deck building game is a 2-player only game. Now you can play it as a 3-player free-for-all here if you want to. And, if you like the Mandalorian characters, then it has a lot of the characters that from the TV show and the movies and stuff like that. The Mandalorian faction's play style is focused around attacking enemy cards in the galaxy row and gaining strength while the force is balanced. So this is one I want to check out personally. Capstone Games is releasing Terra Mystica fan factions. This it doesn't actually say on BGG how many players this is, but the Terra Mystica, base game is 2 to 5 players, and Terra Mystica is obviously, it's a top 50 rated game of all time. It's sort of one of the most beloved games of all time by BoardGameGeeks, and I assume that this keeps the same player count, 2 to 5 players, and it is a medium plus weight to maybe even heavyweight game. Probably a lot of people would consider it heavyweight. These fan factions, Terra Mystica has a lot of factions in the game. This adds 20 new factions to Terra Mystica, and all of the ideas for these factions were submitted by fans of the game. So if you're looking for new ways to play the game, new factions to explore, pretty cool that Capstone listened to fans and, wanted to put a lot of their suggestions and ideas into the game. So, I think that's pretty cool. Chip Theory Games is releasing Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era Chef Class. This is a small expansion to the game that adds a chef class card, adds some new consumables that you can use to sort of level up your character and get special abilities, and it also adds several new side quests that focus on food. So just more, Elder Scrolls is already a game that has a ton of content in it. But if you've been playing through a lot of the campaigns, a lot of the content, then there's more stuff here, and the consumables are a fun way to get a special ability. So yeah, that's a chef class. Direwolf is releasing Clank Catacombs Underworld. This plays 1 to 4 players. It is a medium weight game and plays in 45 to 90 minutes. Clank Catacombs is a really great version of the game Clank, where you are sort of delving into a dungeon and grabbing a bunch of loot and trying to get out before a dragon comes after you. Clank Catacombs changed the base game experience by making the board modular, so you are revealing tiles as you go, which makes the game feel more replayable because the puzzle's a little bit different every time, and the way that the tiles come out will change the dungeon and change the location of specific items. This expansion, this is the second expansion to the game, Clank Catacombs. The thieves will be going deeper than ever before with special new tiles offering entry to a mysterious new realm. So there's new types of tiles. There's more push your luck in the game. If you like deck building, if you like kind of dungeon crawl feel games, then you'll probably like Clank Catacombs, and now, you know, more treasures to explore here with the Underworld expansion. Mighty Boards is releasing Fateforge Chronicles of Kaan Kin of the Wild expansion. This plays 1 to 4 players. It is a medium weight game and plays in about an hour, but Fateforge Chronicles of Kaan was a cooperative narrative campaign game where you were going on adventures, exploring different stuff, working together, and working your way through a narrative story. So, you know, when I say an hour, I mean sort of each session is probably about an hour, not the whole game, for sure. This Kin of the Wild expansion, you know, still same narrative, cooperative adventure game. This adds animal companions to the game. So you will, they are pets in the game, and they're not just sort of tag along stuff, they're mini characters with their own unique pet boards, abilities, action dice, miniatures, so they can, you know, do things for you. They can fight, they can explore, they can grow and get better in the game as you know, go through the narrative. This expansion also brings, in addition to pets, it also brings more depth to your adventures with 2 new factions that you can play as. And each of those factions have new leader ability decks and you know, new play styles and that are unpredictable and deadly. There's also fresh new terrain with 2 new floor plan sets from this expansion. So yeah, just a lot of content for this this narrative adventure cooperative game. Pandasaurus Games is releasing Pixies Flower Power. Pixies is a very small box card game, so if you're looking for a pocket game or a purse game, something like that, Pixies is a good one. This is essentially a booster pack for the game. This adds 14 new cards to the game. I should mention, plays 2 to 6 players in about 30 minutes, and it is a lightweight card game. You know, family weight, plays ages 8 and up. So in the game, you're sort of building a tableau of cards, but cards can be face down and cards can stack on other cards, and things will score you points based on where they are in your tableau, you know, in relation to other cards. And these 14 new cards adds 2 new rules to the game. There are 2 color cards that have been introduced to simplify your life. And at the end of the round, each face down card scores 5 points. So again, if you want a small box game, this is 14 new cards for Pixies. Pandasaurus is also releasing Sea Salt and Paper Extra Pepper. This plays 2 to 4 players in 30 to 45 minutes, and it is a lightweight card game. Sea Salt and Paper is another, you know, small box, put it in your pocket, put it in a backpack, put it in a purse type of game that plays, you know, all ages, though it's not a party game. So Sea Salt and Paper is a set collection game where you are getting cards and, you know, playing some cards for their ability, discarding cards, trying to build sets in your hand. And one of the fun things is you can sort of push your luck with the ending. You can try to end the round early and score more points, or give people an extra turn. This is adding 12 new cards to the game, and each of those cards has their own effect. So in the game, a lot of different types of cards can do various special abilities. These are 12 new cards with 12 new effects to spice up your game of Sea Salt and Paper. And you know, it's another sort of pack ripping situation. And then lastly here, Rose Gauntlet Entertainment is releasing Keystone North America Coastal Expansion. This plays 1 to 2 players, 30 to 60 minutes, and it is a medium weight game, but maybe on the lower end of medium weight here. And you know, Keystone is doing a 2nd edition of the North America game, you know, updated art, updated rules, that sort of thing. This is an expansion to the new 2nd edition of Keystone North America. It's a beautiful game with, it looks gorgeous. This is adding 28 new species to the game and new mechanics that will challenge even the most seasoned biologists. In Keystone North America, you are playing as marine biologists trying to build thriving ecosystems, and this adds, a lot of the marine life to the game that isn't in the base game. So that's sorry to keep this one quick this month, but just trying to sort of squeeze it in as I get back over to the convention and stuff. It's been hard to film these with traveling so much. I've been on the road since November 4th. I flew out November 4th. So but thanks for liking and subscribing. As always, I want to get you the information, even if it's coming from a hotel room. I try to get you this information every month. So thanks so much for being here, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and happy Thanksgiving again. I'm Grant with Grant's Game Rex.